Hey there! Today we're going to talk about how not to ask a woman out on a subway platform at 1:30 in the morning. Inspired by true events. There's a pro and a con to this story. The pro is that it means that I'm actually going out just with my coworkers, since they're the only people that I currently know at all in New York City, but I have gone out. It's yay, friendship and socializing and whatnot. It also means I got to go see Guardians of the Galaxy the other night, which was really great. The con side was that something really creepy happened to me on the subway at 1:30 in the morning. So let's go there. At this point in time, it's about 1:15, 1:30 in the morning. And I'm listening to music, as I do. And so I was sitting on one of the benches in the subway platform, waiting for the train. And there was a seat, there was two women in the seat this way, and then there was an empty seat, and then two seats on the end of the bench where these two drunk idiots are it's a male-female, and they seemed like they were in a relationship. It was hard to tell. The guy was clearly on something because he kept rocking back and forth and moving the whole bench with him and jumping up and acting all manic. So I'm pretty sure they were meth addicts. Mostly I was just like, oh my god, please, please, train, come before I have to deal with these drunk meth addict idiots. And then a guy walks by and sits down. The split second when this guy sat down, I was like, yes, I don't have to deal with these people anymore. But then he kind of makes a motion toward me, so I take one earphone out. Hi, do you know how to go, which train I need to get on to go to the Rockaways? And it was kind of hard to hear him because I was listening to music in one ear and there was drunk idiots around me. So I assured him he was on the right platform, and I was like, yeah, just make sure you get on an A train. Which is incidentally the train I was getting on at 1:30 in the morning. But he was going to be taking it all the way to the end of the line. So he was like, oh, thanks. And I was wearing, this dress. So after I told him you should get on an A train, he was like, oh, thank you. You look really beautiful in that dress, by the way. You're very beautiful. And I was like, thank you. And immediately the alert goes off in my head, like a low level, level 2 alert, all right, this is kind of creepy. Be on guard. So then I was like, thank you, and I put my headphone back in. He tries talking to me again, so I'm like, oh shit. I can't, if I ignore him, then there will probably be more ramifications. So I might as well just sort of engage with him, but have very clear body language that I'm not interested, because, there's a little warning light going off in my head, he called you beautiful and made a point to say it again, so something might be going on and you might be in danger. Luckily, there's probably 50 people in the station right now on my side of the platform, not even talking about the 50 people on the other side of the platform. So he's not gonna try anything probably here, but there was still, I'm a young woman alone, and people try to keep to themselves in the subway. So warning. So the second time he tries to talk to me, I take my headphone out, just the one. He's like, oh, thank you. I just, what's your name? What's your name? And in my really only moment of brilliance that night, I told him my name was Sophie. He goes, oh, Sophie, that's a great name. My cousin's name is Sophia. And I was like, oh, cool. Yep, spelled with an I-E, trying to layer on the lie. And then he tells me his name. I don't remember what it was, something with an R, I think. Sorry for, bothering you. And I'm like, haha, it's okay. But obviously, it's not okay, please stop talking to me. I'm still looking straight forward. I'm not making eye contact with you. And he's like, yeah, so what are you looking all dressed up for tonight? And I'm like, this dress was $10, which it was. I'm not dressed up. And he's like, oh, no, it's not the price of the dress. It's, who's wearing it and how you're wearing it. And so then my warning light goes up to level 3. And I'm like, okay, this is not... No. And then he continues trying to talk to me. He's like, oh, so what music you listening to? And then he started talking about epic rap battles of history, and I was like, yep, heard of them. Cool. And then he told me I was beautiful again, which was all right, level 4. This is, nope, I'm done with this. I am done with this. So I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to be polite, but I'm trying to give as many please go away signals as I can. Here's the thing, this guy might not have meant anything by it, but there was just this very subdued tone to his voice, and he continually, probably 10 times over the course of this conversation we were having, told me that I was beautiful and I looked great in my dress and all this stuff. And the first time, oh, thanks, I do look good in this dress, thank you. Second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th time, you're probably going to, rape and murder me. That's just immediately where my head goes, because I'm a young woman alone on a subway platform at 1:30 in the morning, and what else am I supposed to think? So then the conversation, him asking me for my number. I thought he meant he wanted to borrow my phone, and I was like, absolutely not. You are not touching my phone. But so I was like, sorry, I don't have phone service down here. And he's like, what? No, your number. And I was like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, can I have your phone number? It's like, no. And I just kept staring ahead, and he was like, what? You're not gonna give me your number? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. We can't keep in touch. And like, so he keeps persisting, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you my phone number. And he goes, oh, okay. Then there's this pause, and I'm like, oh god. I'm at like DEFCON 80,000 right now in my head. Like, oh shit, I need to get out of this situation. And then he's like, so do you have a boyfriend? Like, yes, I do. And he was like, oh, he's very lucky. And I'm like, yes, he is. And then I put the headphone back in, and thankfully the train gets there about 2 or 3 minutes later. So I get up and I bolt to the train. But then I remembered, oh shit, he's getting on the same train as me. So I tried to like walk pretty far down the platform, but each like subway car is pretty long. So we still ended up getting on the same car, and I think he followed me a little ways. And the train is still parked. I'm like moving as far down the train car as I could just to get away. Like, even though he might not have been following me, he might have just been getting on the train, and we might have just happened to get on the same car. But I was like, yeah, I'm at DEFCON 80,000. I need to get away from him just so I can feel better. So I go as far down the car as I can, and then we go a couple of stops. And luckily this guy is pretty conspicuous. Like, he's got really long dreadlocks and this bright yellow shirt. And so like, obviously I can see him. And so we went a couple stops, and the whole time I was like, I am just freaking out. I don't want him to know what stop I'm getting off. Like, even if I'm in no danger at all, like, I feel like I'm in danger, and this is really creepy, and he shouldn't have, asked me a lot of those things, especially when I was clearly giving him the don't talk to me signal. So what I did, I get off the train, and as people are exiting, and then I like walk down and I get on the next car. So now we are no longer in the same car, so there is no way he can see me. And then I got home and I took a shower, and I was like, yes, I'm home. Gentlemen, now we're getting back to the beginning of the video, where I'm going to teach you how not to ask a woman out on the subway platform at 1:30 in the morning. Now, I don't want you to think that this is like a never talk to strangers sort of video, because it's not. Sometimes people meet in crazy ways. But there are certain guidelines you need to follow in order to not come off as like a potential threat to her. Number 1, compliment her if you must, but do it in a non-creepy way. Do it so that you're not complimenting a particular part of her body, and do it once, okay? If you're gonna compliment her, do it once. If you do it more than once, then you become a threat. Okay? Got it? Good. Number 2, pay attention to body language. If she's not making eye contact with you, if she's continually putting her music back in her ear to stop any kind of further conversation, and only answers at the bare minimum to your questions, she's not interested. Leave her alone. Stop talking. 3, if you ask her for her number and she says no, don't keep asking, because the likelihood that she's going to say yes the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th times is even lower than the first time. When someone says no, that's not an invitation to continue asking, especially if you don't know this person. And 4th, don't ask her where she lives. Don't ask her about anything else. As another little bonus tip, 5, my having a boyfriend should not be the ultimate, oh, I guess hands off, bro. No. The ultimate hands off, bro, should be when I said no. Family members who I know are still watching this video, please don't worry about me. This happens. I was completely in control the whole time. I had strategies for escape. I also have mace and a knife. So like, I'm fine. I feel very, very safe here. It's just sometimes creepy things happen, and I am going to vent about them. But that doesn't mean that every single moment of my life is filled with creepy things. So yeah, nobody worry. If you're asking someone out on a subway platform at 1:30 in the morning, don't be a creep, and have a good week.